Starship versions V2 and V3 were introduced about a year ago by Elon Musk. While, if I had to choose the best word to describe what SpaceX achieved with Super Heavy on Flight 8, it'd have to be incredible. Despite all the controversy, the successful landing of Booster 15 is undeniable. How will SpaceX move forward, upgrade, and improve Booster 15? Recent challenges with V2 indicate that V3 may arrive sooner than expected. Will SpaceX abandon version 2 after recent issues? SpaceX has only added to the excitement, recently sharing even more stunning footage, images, and videos on social media, showcasing every thrilling moment of Booster 15's activation, liftoff, and near-flawless landing. It was truly fascinating. The entire sequence was remarkably smooth, from the booster's approach to its final moments being caught by chopsticks. It all happened as if SpaceX had done it 100 times before. At this point, it's safe to say that they have mastered this technique. But what makes this feat even more impressive is that Booster 15 had a far more dramatic journey than the two previous boosters that successfully landed. Booster 12 had no major engine failures, only experiencing a small fire at the end of the flight. Booster 14 lost one engine, but it reignited in time for landing. Booster 15, however, faced even bigger challenges. It lost two engines, with only one successfully reigniting. That added some tense moments for viewers, but despite the setbacks, Booster 15 nailed the landing. This achievement marked the third successful landing of a Starship booster and the second in a row within just 7 weeks. A testament to how fast SpaceX is refining its landing techniques. On launch day, about an hour after landing, chopsticks carefully lowered Booster 15 onto the Ohm. At the same time, a booster transport stand was moved into position, preparing to retrieve the returning hero. By that evening, Booster 15 had arrived at the launch site. Then on March 7th, the booster was officially lifted off the OLM and placed onto the transport stand. Chopsticks retracted, signaling the start of its next journey. According to the road closure schedule, Booster 15 began moving around 11:30 p.m. Central, heading to the production site where it was eventually placed inside Mega Bay. Now, Booster 15 will undergo detailed inspections to determine its condition. The engines will receive the most attention as they endured an extremely tough flight. Engineers will particularly focus on the two engines that failed during the boost back burn, studying the root causes of the issue. The goal is to not only repair Booster 15, but also apply lessons learned to future prototypes. Based on what we saw during Flight 8, Booster 15's engine problems seem similar to what happened on B-14 during Flight 7. The likely culprit, a low-power igniter system which may have prevented the engines from properly reigniting after shutting down for stage separation. If that's the case, further ignition system upgrades will be necessary. Another key area of focus will be the pressure system, which directly contributed to the scrub on the 3rd of March. According to Musk, the ground spin start pressure was too low, preventing the booster from generating enough thrust for liftoff. While SpaceX managed to fix the issue quickly, it may have only been a temporary solution. A more robust upgrade at the production site will likely be needed to prevent this problem from recurring. As SpaceX continues refining Starship's design, each landing brings invaluable lessons. The next steps for Booster 15 will be crucial in determining whether it gets another flight or simply serves as a stepping stone for future boosters. Either way, this marks another giant leap toward full reusability. With Booster 15 now safely back at the production site, the big question is, how will SpaceX upgrade and improve it further? One major area of focus will be the hot staging system, particularly the clamp system. This mechanism was responsible for halting a stack attempt during pre-launch preparations. So SpaceX will need to ensure that it functions flawlessly in future flights. More importantly, a reliable hot staging system is critical for seamlessly connecting and separating the two rocket stages, a key factor in achieving efficient stage transitions during flight. For the engine systems, SpaceX will likely continue refining the ignition system, which was upgraded before Flight 8. However, additional enhancements to engine components or the addition of protective systems could help ensure greater durability and reliability for future flights. But the real game changer could be Raptor 3. This next-generation engine has been teased for quite some time, yet we haven't seen it implemented on a flight-ready booster. If B-15 is reused, it could be the perfect candidate for testing Raptor 3, especially since the earliest Super Heavy boosters are expected to fly a maximum of 2 times. Could this finally be the moment Raptor 3 makes its debut? Let us know what you think in the comments section down below. However, as you saw, Flight 8 once again exposed critical issues. While the mission achieved the impressive milestone of the 3rd overall and 2nd consecutive successful capture of the booster using Micazella arms, there were still problems with Super Heavy engines during the boost back burn. But the real focus was on the ship. The second version of Starship version 2, Ship 34, exhibited the same failure as its predecessor Ship 33. Once again, it seemed that pressure issues and fuel leaks led to engine failures ultimately causing the ship to lose control. This raises an important question. Do we need a breakthrough upgrade to solve these persistent issues in version 2? Perhaps pushing forward directly to version 3. At first glance, it might seem unbelievable, but considering recent developments, it's entirely possible. The repeated delays in Flight 8 revealed multiple problems, affecting various parts of the vehicle. First, Super Heavy encountered a pressure issue. According to Elon Musk, the fuel pressure during transfer from the tank to the engines dropped below the required threshold, which affected performance and nearly jeopardized liftoff. Next, the ship had issues as well, although the exact nature wasn't fully disclosed. However, we did see workers inspecting the liquid oxygen tank area, suggesting a possible problem. These recurring problems forced SpaceX to take extra time for troubleshooting before they could reattempt stacking and launch. Although they resolved these issues relatively quickly, they still caused delays, raising concerns about whether version 2's design upgrades are truly effective. Version 2's issues were evident even before Flight 8, particularly in Flight 7. On that flight, Super Heavy performed exceptionally well overall, but one engine failed to ignite during the boost back burn. SpaceX later explained that the failure was due to the safe abort system activating a response to a low power condition in the igniter system. Fortunately, the engine managed to function properly later, assisting in the Super Heavy landing. Furthermore, a fire was observed in the aft flap system, suggesting that the current flap design is suboptimal. Taken together, these issues suggest that the V2 design has fundamental weaknesses, so why not introduce a radical upgrade, such as transitioning directly to V3? But what exactly would V3 change? The V3 would undoubtedly bring major design improvements. For starters, Super Heavy would undergo modifications to its hot staging system, the same system that caused problems before Flight 8. The new hot staging design would be simpler, more efficient, and optimized to reduce risks, while improving production, operation, and refurbishment processes. It would also be lighter, boosting overall flight performance, a critical step toward full reusability. Most importantly, this redesign would minimize the impact caused by stage separation, enhancing reliability. Next, the engine system would see significant upgrades. Version 3 would feature Raptor 3 engines, which are not only more powerful, but also simpler and far more reliable than Raptor 2. These engines directly address the failures seen in Flight 7. Along with the engine improvements, the fuel tank system would be expanded to accommodate the increased fuel demands of Raptor 3, providing greater efficiency. Furthermore, the launch pad infrastructure, including chopsticks, would receive optimizations to eliminate persistent issues and enhance long-term operational reliability. With all these improvements, version 3 would directly resolve the shortcomings of version 2. Beyond technical enhancements, the urgency of transitioning to version 3 also stems from upcoming mission demands. According to Lisa Watson-Morgan, NASA's manager of the Human Landing System program. Version 3 needs to be operational by the end of this year to support the development of the orbital refueling system. This refueling system is essential for Starship's deep space missions, providing the fuel necessary to reach destinations like the Moon and Mars. For these ambitious plans to succeed, Version 3 needs to enter the launch phase as soon as possible, replacing Version 2. With Version 2's ongoing technical problems and the increasing urgency of future missions, the shift to Version 3 is much closer than most people realize. Before SpaceX can fully implement Starship Version 3, they must first refine and perfect the operations and upgrades associated with the current Version 2 model. The foundation of this progress is mastering the landing and recovery of both stages of Starship, particularly Super Heavy using the Mechazilla arms. With 2 consecutive successful booster catches, SpaceX has demonstrated growing confidence and expertise in this maneuver. However, the next major milestone will be extending this capability to the ship itself, achieving full-stage reusability. While SpaceX has made significant progress, certain mission-critical steps remain unproven. Most notably payload deployment. Issues during Flight 7 and 8 highlight the need for refinement in this area, as it is a fundamental requirement for carrying cargo and crew to destinations like the Moon and Mars. Addressing these concerns early will ensure that Version 3 inherits a solid operational framework. Upgrades and enhancements across multiple spacecraft systems must also be verified, including improvements to the flaps, engines, heat shield, and fuel tanks. While some Version 2 advancements are promising on paper, they have yet to be fully tested in flight. Since neither Flight 7 nor Flight 8 has reached re-entry with a fully functional heat shield system, this aspect remains an area requiring extensive testing. During the heat shield's durability will be critical for Starship's long-term reusability, particularly for missions involving frequent atmospheric re-entry. Beyond upgrades, SpaceX must also address persistent technical issues that have appeared in recent flights. Recurrent problems, such as leaks and pressure irregularities, indicate systemic weaknesses that must be meticulously corrected before advancing to the next iteration of the vehicle. These issues are complex and require careful engineering solutions, but resolving them will make future flights safer and more reliable. Tackling these recurring challenges will not only enhance Starship Version 2's reliability, but also smooth the transition to Version 3, preventing these issues from carrying over into the next generation of the spacecraft. Moreover, other key systems, such as hot staging, fuel tanks, pump systems, and even the chopsticks, must be refined and optimized before SpaceX moves forward. Each of these components plays a critical role in Starship's overall functionality, and improvements in these areas will serve as an essential stepping stone for Version 3's success. Ultimately, the path to Starship Version 3 is already underway. By addressing Starship Version 2's challenges, SpaceX is laying the groundwork for the most advanced and powerful version of Starship yet. Once these refinements are complete, Version 3's superior size, power, and design will cement SpaceX's dominance, while pacing competitors who are still struggling to catch up. In many ways, SpaceX is not just developing the next generation of Starship, they are shaping the future of the rocket industry itself. And that's about it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and that's all for today's update. If you enjoyed watching and found it useful, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. And if you want to support our channel and if you want to be up to date, you can become an exclusive member, so click on our perks through the link in the description below. Thanks to watching and see you next time.